Hello. I think that was the right one. Was it? Did we do the intro or the outro? Either way.
I saw something.
There was a thing. Wait, let's make sure we got the right one.
I'm just willing to listen to that for an hour. Let's just
that was the right one because it's shorter. I was just confused. I hit the outro, I think, because it's 20 seconds, but then I realized, wait, no, the outro is longer because that way we have that time that it takes for. Anyway, hi. Welcome to the Retro Cavalcade. I'm Allison Troy, and with me are my co-host, Andrew. He's mid-swallow.
Not the first time I heard that.
Typical. Derek Uva of the Yesterday's podcast. Since he has the whole thing there. Also mid-swallow. And our special guest in the upper corner, Chris Plastic. So, hello.
There you go. That's the spirit.
Hello. I heard you guys didn't have enough bearded, bespectacled guys around here, so
we didn't have a white guy with the beard. So hey,
yes,
but, we're fraudulent. Yeah,
I get scruffy. That's about it.
Same. And really quick, just in case the people at home have forgotten, Moby is trash.
He's terrible.
Cares, Moby. All right, so let's get the cavalcade. Is that a thing? Let's get the cavalcade going.
Cavalier.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, we've got slides. So, so we're gonna start just like everyone else this week who's doing any sort of live stream and talk about NECA, because why not? That's what we're here for, right?
We're gonna beat that dead horse.
Yes.
Yep.
I can't believe it.
Oh my God, no. Wait.
Stop. It's already dead.
It's too late.
It's already dead.
It's as dead as their gargoyles line.
Oh, God.
No. It's deader than the chance of getting a black canary in the superpowers line.
Now that actually hits close to home, and I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
Help us, Jake Gladfelter. Help us.
Well, because we're going to do the actual like toy tube. I've got my little podcast microphone. All right, so
is it neon? Does it light up?
It does not. It's just a base. It's a good microphone. It's a good microphone.
I guess.
Anyway, wait. Over the last week, NECA Toys has sent shockwaves to the toy collecting community by being stupid and dumb about PR and business, apparently. So yeah. Did anyone here order the lab?
No,
thankfully no.
No.
Yeah, that would be real rough if I had.
Well, I just I'm not a Turtles person anyway, and this is a shoebox. And I remember when they started announcing these, I was just like, I can make that. I'm good. So,
yeah. Those are all things I can make. No.
Yeah. I mean,
especially
if I had
right?
Yeah. If I had the space and the money, I'd probably go way harder in this line. But like with NECA, I got the Turtles, but I got really like the main cast sort of thing. So I mean, once that was done and it completely filled one shelf, I'm like, that's it. That's all the real estate I can afford you. So I can't be getting like 6 feet of labs and kitchens and living rooms.
But you could take over an entire side of your house. Wait.
Also,
I have to save that room
talk
for
about it as a
Batmobiles.
dollhouse. yeah, giant Batmobiles. I mean, this is a dollhouse for your action figures. Like, you can go have like April make cupcakes, and then Donnie can like make a espresso machine or whatever. But like, this is all a little playing house kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. It's an action figure dollhouse.
Yep, that's all it is. There's no.
It's not a play set. There's no play. It's just a diorama.
I was just thinking that today. It's a diorama. It's not a play set. Eternia play set. Okay, that's a play set. Even Grayskull and Snake Mountain. That's a play set. You can do stuff in it. This is just It's there. It is the very definition of a diorama, except for the name.
So we all agree it's overpriced, stupid shoebox. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello,
I
Oz.
like it.
Welcome.
Ah.
Hello. So anyway, apparently if you ordered this, for the people who overspent on this lame shoebox, some of them got 2. I don't have the equipment to do that. He got 2 thing. That you have to go to Geek Dad Live for that sort of production.
You got 2.
That's even better.
Get
That's
the
pretty good.
mailman!
You got 2.
And yeah, I was about to say double stuff, but that means something completely different.
Somebody found their mailbox double penetrated.
Indeed.
Oh my god! Oh, somebody.
My
you're at that.
dioramas, jeez.
Right. Oh my god! And now I'm dead. Officially. Anyway, thank you, Chris. That was perfect. So anyway, back in August, it was August, right? Back when you were all my beautiful summer children, NECA sent 2 of these to some lucky, finger quote, lucky, yeah, definitely hawk Tua on that one. Sent 2 of these to the people who overspent for this shoebox, and they thought, wow, this is amazing. Some of them apparently, allegedly, according to hearsay and personal accounts, contacted NECA to say, hey, you sent me 2, and NECA did not reply. So some people were like, what's this shit? And they sold it on eBay. And then some of them just opened it and played with it. And some of it, if they're anything like me, it's still in a box waiting to be opened. Like my Eternia in the garage. So it's about last week. It's a little over a week now, probably. NECA sent out threatening email. Well, first they sent a very gentle, like, hey, friend, we sent you 2. You should send one back. Here's how to do that. And people ignored it. Well, I'm sure there were like 4 or 5 pick-me's who were like, oh, yes, I will send it right away. Hello, Speaking Moistly. Welcome. Lovely to see you. And then some people who had sold them already probably shit themselves. It's after we can say shit. And we're far enough in that YouTube won't get weird.
Crap, boob, crap.
And yeah, so some people had already sold them. Some people probably opened them. They're the dusty things. But then, no, I'm going to assume not most people replied. Or even if they did, NECA's customer service is so bad, they may not have gotten any of the replies like, hey, I've got it. Come get it. And then they sent more threatening emails about like, oh, and tried to guilt people by saying, oh, you're keeping other collectors from having this, which would indicate they didn't make extras in case somebody's was broken, which is a problem, frankly, NECA. And now my understanding is now they're threatening to steal people's dogs and not give them back until they send the turtle layer back. So yeah,
they're taking the dogs and the cats.
Yeah, the cats.
Yeah,
Randy came to my house, took my dog, and he's been like sending him to me in like pieces. So I'm like, no deal.
Finn,
yeah, no deal.
You're gonna need that shoebox.
He sent me his other eyeball.
No.
So
that is a bridge too far, NECA.
So this is
my one-eyed dog's now a no-eye dog.
Well, no, they accidentally sent me my neighbor's dog. Piece by piece.
It's gonna be a Patty Hearst situation where you get there and your dog is like, send back the cat, send back the layer. So yeah, I guess one, I hate corporations usually, so I'm kind of like good for them. Because whatever, like, but also their customer service is terrible. And I gonna admit it, 10 years ago I bought a Michael Myers figure from NECA, and he fell off the shelf and shattered like glass, and I've never really forgiven them. So I'm kind of like, you get, like, they've been on my shit list ever since. So I'm kind of just like, fuck you, NECA.
Yeah.
But I mean, also that's
their customer service is notoriously atrocious. So I mean, for them to say, no, you need to go do this work, you're like, who are you to tell me nothing? Because like, I've emailed you 17 times about literally anything, and there's like silence and static back. So watch me run.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still burned from buying like a 4 loot crate like pack, and they only sent 3, and they're like, "We only sent 3. Fuck you."
But that was it. It was just you're getting 3 and that's it.
Right? They're like, the 4th is coming, and eventually turned into, there was never a 4th. I don't know what you're talking about.
So they gaslit you on
Yeah.
top of it all.
Yep.
I think I'm really starting to think that NECA is a weird conglomeration of my stepmom and my half brother.
It's definitely run by a Carl. I will say that.
There's a
Yeah.
Susan in there somewhere. I
And
promise
really
you
quickly, hello, Nolan. Lovely to see you. We've arrived, guys. And hello, Cassie Kitchen. And then really quick, we have to keep Nolan up there because it covers Derek's face. No, just kidding. It's just so that we know we've arrived. We're definitely talking toys if Nolan is in the chat. So
Put him back up. I'm hideous.
Oh, my face!
all right.
The mirror. The mirror.
So, and somebody brought this up in one of the many chats that I have been in, talking about this, that if it was, say, Mondo, people would probably be bending over backwards to like send stuff back, and there wouldn't be sort of the like f them the way there sort of is for NECA. So I kind of feel like NECA has effed around and found out, and this is what's happening. Like, all of this karma that they've been building up for the last 10 years since my Michael Myers broke has finally broke for them, and now they're finding out. So
Yeah,
that's when it started.
And
I mean,
really
truthfully,
quick, exactly. Like anytime, I mean, like I've heard people, Mondo always has problems, and like I've heard that, but at the same time, every time Mondo releases something and somebody says, "Oh, this thing on my Mondo broke," I hear nothing but how quickly Mondo is to fix it and how easy it is to get them to fix it, and that there are people who they've sent replacements for broken parts and just said, "Don't bother sending the broken thing back to us." So, which to me is how you do customer service. I mean, like, what are you going to do with that broken piece anyway? So,
Why waste shipping money on throwing something away when they can do it just for you?
yeah, and I get this is slightly a different, this is a full playset, but at the same time, I will say, if I want something used that's possibly been opened or been sitting in somebody's house, I'm going to buy it on eBay and I'm not going to spend full price. Yeah. So the whole, like, if you keep it, you're keeping it from other people. There's also the assumption there that whoever got it didn't open it or didn't, like,
well, the thing is, like, I think about if I had gotten this, and let's say hypothetically I got 2. Like, one, I don't have the space for it, so like I probably would have actually, like, truthfully, I would have actually probably reached out and be like, "Hey, what is this?" They wouldn't get back to me because their customer service doesn't do that. It would have sat in a closet, or I would have flipped it really quickly. If I had it,
same,
I would probably send it back just because it is like the right thing to do, and I don't want it. But at the same time, like, this is a lot of work. Like,
yeah.
You're assuming that I kept the giant shipping box, which I can promise you I didn't, to put this thing back into, to send off to the mailbox. Like, I'm like, this is a lot. Like, Randy, come down here, bring back my dog and take the shit away. But like, this is a lot of business that's like, I'm not interested in.
Well, and there is the legal component, which is, of course, here in the U.S., the Federal Trade Commission would tell you, that's yours. You are under no obligation to return that.
Yeah. Like, that happens. It's just like is the right thing to do to send it back. Yeah, that's the right thing to do. But as many of us know here in the US, you can't legislate morality. You really can't. It's not going to happen. People have been trying a long time. It's kind of like when you're at the store, if you get the wrong amount of change back or you leave without paying, is the right thing to do to turn around and correct it? Yeah, it's the right thing to do. How many people do that? Probably not a lot. Is there anything that the store can do if that happens? Fuck no. You fucked up. Sorry, I'm really leaning into the F-bombs after 7.
And Oz
Okay.
has a point where the FTC regulation doesn't apply to the situation. No one brings it up. Technically, it doesn't, but also it does. This particular situation is
How does that work?
well. The thing is when people often cite the law, what it is it's I think unrequested, technically because you ordered a product from NECA, them sending an extra, you've technically requested it. So the first half of that people are citing is basically true. Like you did request the service, so they're not sending you they're sending you a wrong item. They're sending you an extra item. So that side of it doesn't apply, but the side of it that does apply is they can't charge your credit card for that. And I mean, they could ban you from purchasing from their store because they're mad at you. But if NECA actually starts charging credit cards, at that point, that's where the FTC would care. Because
also,
at
how are they
that
gonna
point they've
find
broken
you?
the law.
Like-
They can't. That's not an authorized charge. Them sending you a bad product. Yeah, you should. The right thing to do is to send it back. You're not technically getting free product, and the FTC isn't going to necessarily cover that side of it. If they tried to charge your card at that point, that's when the FTC is going to care, because they can't. Basically, this is where the gray part of the situation arises. They can't charge you for something that you didn't ask for, and you didn't ask for a second one. Them sending in an error is their fault. So but technically, like everyone who's like, oh, well, they sent it to you unasked for, that's a problem. That's not the problem. The problem is when they tried to charge a card.
Right.
And if people just go and cancel the card, then NECA is pretty much damned if they do, damned if they don't here, which is why it's really weird that their PR team did not get in front of this differently. So
This is a
considering
PR mess.
considering the way they're run, I mean, like, yeah, the PR, the legal, that's all super shady and gross. Like, none of this should have ever gone out. The other thing is too is like they can't even find out who has 2 of these.
Well,
so there's a logistics problem. So if they can't find that out, how are they going to find out, your band, your card's banned, your address? Like, I don't think they have the database or the analytics to do that. I mean, you're like, look, if you want to charge me, like, I'll send it to my friend's place. I'll use a different credit card. I'll go by a different name. It doesn't matter. Like, you can't get me, Randy.
Somebody in the Geek Dad Live not the chat, but the actual comments afterwards. And again, this is technically hearsay. We don't know if this person is being honest. So, it's technically grain of salt, but this is one of the things I've sort of brought up in a few of the conversations. It sounds like they don't actually know who got to, because the person in the comment section said they sent me an email, but I didn't get 2. And then, so and again, their customer service is so unresponsive that, like, can you imagine? And there are going to be people who did get 2 who are going to try to call and lie. I didn't get 2, but there are people who legitimately are saying they didn't get 2. And so how do they? I mean, this is I think the crux of the problem is they can't. If it were to get to a point where they tried to start taking people to small claims court, because NECA technically could do that, but they at that point would have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt who got it and who didn't to win that case, and they can't do that. So it's a weird gray area, and
it's a lot of money to go to court.
How big is NECA? Like, as far as like corporate structure, how big are they? Because I can remember when NECA kind of first started showing up with like the Christmas Story figures in like the early 2000s in Wizard magazine, and then all of a sudden 5-10 years later, it's Back to the Future figures. It's this property, and they're like this premier toy company. How big are they? Because that may speak to what part of their problem is.
They are a little, my understanding, I could be wrong, is that they are a little bit bigger than Super7. So not much, but a little bit, because they got sort of, but also my understanding is they're about to lose like their Target distribution. They're not going to be in Target stores anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Bobby has a good question here. Was the set sold out? My understanding here is that it was on demand situation where they only made what was ordered.
Right. I think it
allegedly.
was an open pre-order.
Yeah, so
Okay.
technically it's sold out, but because so I mean this is probably why the people who and there are people who still haven't gotten theirs, who probably won't get there. So then not only in the long basically at the end of this, NECA is just gonna have to eat. Anyone who doesn't send it back, they're gonna have to eat that. And then they're gonna probably end up having to refund some people for it. So it's pretty bad.
Or go back into production.
Yeah, that's the one that people keep referring to about um, unrequested product. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
So
so
I think with NECA, it's outside looking in. It seems like you have a company that is really good creatively speaking and really great at coming up with designs and these properties and what have you. But as far as like nuts and bolts, like day to day shit that is important for how a company runs smoothly, they don't know their ass from their elbow. You have QC issues that aren't addressed. You have situations like this. This is a nightmare. I've worked in corporate places where corporate steps in, and there's situations similar to this, whether it was in the car industry or like my first job out of college, I worked customer service for McDonald's. It's never fun when something like this happens, but it comes down to what your team that handles these, your crisis team or however you want to put it, your PR team, how they handle that. It's almost like they have no PR team whatsoever. It's an intern with a smartphone and they're just throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Well,
That's
it's
how it
funny
seems.
because NECA has bought a bunch of other companies over the years, and it seems like every company they've bought has become worse after being purchased by NECA. You know, Loot
The
Crate went
Hasbro effect.
downhill. I've never owned a Chia Pet, so I can't talk to the quality of Chia Pets before or after.
Not
NECA
good.
bought
I'm
them.
an aficionado. Nope, they're bad.
They're bad. Okay. Ben Cooper. They bought Ben Cooper, I think, last year.
Mhm. The other thing is like there's sort of something. It's not quite comparable, but the Chitara debacle from Super7, where she arrived and there was something wrong. Some people say she was too sexy. Some people say the hips were actually as bad as some of the early samples were. Like there's a lot of
You
rumors
can
about what
never
was
have
wrong
a
with
too
it.
sexy Chitara.
Brian does not like too sexy anything, so that's why everyone's shaped like a cereal box. But they were like, no, gotta go. We're not sending this out. And so they literally shredded them all, went back to the factory, did a whole new order, shipped it over. I mean, this was a massive cost. I mean, they had to like, I mean, you think of like destroying them,
Yeah.
making new ones, putting them on a ship, going through duty, like all like they literally went
Yeah.
from scratch, started over. And that's what you do, like frankly.
Yeah,
That's
that is what sometimes you eat the bar and sometimes it eats you. That's the way this goes. Sometimes you get your ass kicked, sometimes you're the one kicking ass. And this is a situation, sorry, I got slurry. They just need to take their ass kicking and learn from it.
Either way, I'm sure Premium DNA is just appreciating no one talking about Earthworm Jim anymore, thanks to NECA.
or my Mad Balls figures. I'm like, where are they? Where are they?
oh yeah, there are a lot of toy companies this week. Like Brian Flynn breathed a sigh of relief.
Mhm.
He's like, finally, I'm not the worst.
Well, we'll
and I
get back
don't
to
mean
that.
the toy line. So yeah, so that's the NECA sitch-ish.
It's a rough one.
It's a can of worms that we only open because, hey, everyone else is doing it. Why can't we? Oh, wait, really quick.
I wanted to as well.
Okay, really quick. Yeah, it's like a $300. It's like $299, I believe, was the price. But here's the deal with that, Bobby. That to me that was impactful, and we didn't even allegedly. And this is Hatter did a video. Hatter's been doing videos. Mad Hatter, you know that guy. The flipper guy. He did a video on it, and if I understood what he said in the video correctly, and it's possible I didn't because I had it on while I was filming a coloring video, only certain products were applicable for that $100 credit. Like I want to say he said it was a couple gargoyle figures, Deadline, and a few other things. So it wasn't even necessarily like it was $100 credit for anything. It was, and if I am wrong, I'm happy to be wrong. But that was what I understood from what had, because he's way more into the NECA stuff than, I mean, again, 10 years ago, I haven't forgiven them. I've not even picked up the Ben Cooper figures yet, and I like those and really want them. I might still get them, even though NECA obviously, all of their stuff might suddenly be cheap if this ticks people off enough. But, and also really quick,
Yeah.
hello, Payne.
Pain!
Lovely to see you. So yeah, it's a can of worms, and we've, everyone else is talking about it this week. I was like, we need to talk about it for the Roger today. And
The Roger.
so
Journalist.
we have paid our dues to the algorithm clickbaity gods, and we led with that. So really quick, now let's get to the other thing. And this one impacts us a bit more because I know at least 3 of us actually care about Thundercats. I don't know, Chris, if you're a Thundercats.
You T-Cat boy, Chris.
I
Yeah,
am a childhood fan. I am not actively
Okay.
collecting, but I am looking forward to the Mattel crossover.
Hey,
exactly.
okay.
And that's a good segue into why this is annoying me. Because this to me, well, one, it looks like they're just resurrecting the Funko Primal Age figures from a few years ago, which I didn't get any of the Thundercats. I got the Mortal Kombat. I got the DC line. You can't see it because of my creative lighting that I'm using to sort of obscure the unpack behind me. But my Batcave is right there, DC Primal Age. The figures themselves were not what I would consider high quality. They felt really inexpensive made. So I didn't get the Thundercats because I was just like, they feel really
They used
cheap.
bad plastic.
It was Funko and Super7 that conspired on those to my so to me these look like the same molds. There's that. And 2, these are not Origins. I mean, they're the scale, but they're not Origins compatible. And 3, I'm waiting to see what Mattel has for the Thundercats crossover. So like this was, it feels like the mockbusters that you can get at the store where it's like, oh look,
Atlantic Rim.
Yeah, right. Atlantic Rim, which I know.
Transmorphers.
Yeah, right. So this feels like a cheap, quick cash grab for existing molds that they probably have laying around. Or it's something that they were planning that they can't necessarily do once the Mattel thing happens, so they're rushing them out. Either way, it's a curious choice, and it sort of annoyed me. And I usually don't dislike Super7. As anyone who watches Clubhouse on Saturday knows, whenever I get Lawrence worked up about Super7.
Wind that boy up.
But this annoys me a little.
I don't mind their figures. I just don't like the price. So, like, today, I ordered Yakko and Dot from Big Bad Toy Store as part of their sale. You get them cheap enough, I'm all about their figures.
Yeah, they have a sale going right now. I know they've been discounted on Big Bad Toy Store, and there's been a few times I've messaged the group like, I don't really need to buy this right now, do I? I'm just freaking out because it's on sale, right? And that's what I'm doing. But I mean, some of those prices are pretty good.
Well, I've been buying the G.I. Joe Ultimates, and I've got things to say about that. But I mean, like I think like Snake Eyes was $20 at Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah.
It's not the Snake Eyes I want, but I'm like, just in case, like I might as well get it because I was waiting them out for the real Snake Eyes. This is what's confusing me about Super7 right now too, is that like I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here. For a long time, especially during the pandemic, they were like pre-order based. And they had a lot of pre-orders and they had a lot of licenses. And every 2 to 3 weeks, there's like wave 4 of this, wave 7 of that. This is coming out. And you would check the pre-order website and they were like, this is shipping. This is on a boat. This is in your hands. And it was just this constant churn. And that came to a screeching halt in the past like 6 months to a year. So they clearly still have G.I. Joe license. They clearly still have Transformers. They're not making Ultimates, or they're at least not releasing them like via pre-order. But then we're getting this. We're getting G.I. Joe O-rings. We're getting Ultimates pared down in Thundercats and Transformers at Target. So I'm like, are you going retail, or are you going not even made to order, but just like, what are you doing? Like, and it's fine. But I mean, like, at least sort of play your cards and say, here's what our strategy is now. But right now, I'm like, I have no idea, and I don't know if I should continue to collect some things that you make, because I don't know what that's going to look like in 6 months, a year, or whatever. Because I mean, I'm quite used to like waiting for stuff. My main collection is Masters Classics, and that took years to 10 years really to pan out, and I'm willing to wait that out and kind of pay a high price every few months. But like, I don't know what's going on, and this is a whole lot of I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think
Exactly.
it's very
Go ahead.
chaotic.
Go ahead.
It's so chaotic. Like I like to have a complete collection if I'm gonna buy it. I mean, I mostly cherry picked their Ultimates Thundercats, just the ladies, because lady action figure aisle, and sort of the same with the GI Joe Ultimates. I just sort of went the ladies, just because it's a space thing, but also, if I were sort of collecting it, it seems chaotic to me as somebody not collecting all their stuff. I can't imagine if like Super7 is your bread and butter for your collection right now, if you're into any of these lines, because like it's just all over the place. Like it makes no sense. And they're not and this is, I don't know if this is because they're no longer sort of independent. They have like investors, board of directors, what have you. Love them or hate them, Brian Flynn at least used to every so often go on like a podcast or a YouTube channel and talk about what the plans are. And it feels like it's been a while since Brian's jumped out there and sort of said, here's what's happening.
Well,
yeah,
to that
they've
point,
just sort of gone radio silent, and I'm just sort of like wondering if they're making a big move, then do it. But like at least, or like maybe I don't know, maybe they're waiting for Toy Fair in February to say, here's what the new strategy is. So buckle up. But I mean, if you could look on their website, their pre-order website, it wasn't updated since maybe September, and we're pretty much caught up. Like I mean, they're sort of like, yeah, you got a Cat Slayer, you got a few more waves of Turtles, maybe some Thundercats out there. But I mean, like if I was in on Transformers, and now there's 50 other lines that are doing way better for way cheaper. So I'm like,
yeah,
I was there, but you lost me.
I just feel like, Allison, you had mentioned how, now they typically were a smaller company. Now there's shareholders and stuff involved. These specifically feel like a decision by committee that's being thrown out. This isn't like creatives thinking of something. This is bean counters. I don't know, whatever the hell you want to call it. Board of directors saying, well, that He-Man line's doing good. That He-Man and Ninja Turtle thing is doing well. And they're going to be coming out with a Thundercat one. We need to throw this out. That's what this feels like. It feels like something rushed. It feels like, well, we're going to put this out. We're going to get ahead of it. We're going to get something out first. And first doesn't always mean best. Sometimes first means worst. And I think that's the case with this. I mean, a lot of people who are collecting Thundercats right now, we'll spend the money on the Ultimates line. I'm piecemealing and getting them slowly but surely. But the news of Mattel doing a Motu, like the dream crossover for a schmuck like me, Motu and Thundercats. I mean, come on. I'm very anxious to see what that's going to be. And I already know what the price point's going to be, roughly. You're looking at about $20 a pop. So why would I pay more than likely? I'm going to peg $40 to $50 on these. If the stripped down Lino that I just saw at Target is $35, they're going to make this about $40 to $45. I'm willing to bet minimum. Why would I pay that if there's a line coming out? It does not make sense to me. When they announced I was like, what are we doing? This doesn't make any sense at all.
I'll give you the on paper rationale that I can think of for these. One, business. It seems like they're just reusing any mold they can right now. Well, maybe they're retooling what the business is going to be. And two, the crossover, you probably won't get to see Lion-O in classic Lion-O look. You won't get to see Mumra is just Mumra. They'll be Motuified somehow.
Yeah,
not that they're not very Motu-y to start with, but
sure.
More for
that's a good point.
But I mean, the other thing too is like and it's kind of funny. Mattel's one of the big dogs, maybe not as big as Hasbro is now, kind of thing, but it's like they're very quiet. They don't do a lot of social media. They don't reach out to fans. But I mean, nevertheless, there is a certain amount of trust there. And if they're like, we're doing Thundercats Motu, they got 5, 6, 10 lines ready to go. Like they're not like,
got
like,
plans.
I hope I finish the line. Like, yeah, they're like, I mean, you look at Masters Origins, you even look at the Turtles line. That's going a lot further than I ever thought was possible. But they're like, yep, no problem. We'll keep making them.
Especially if they use the Origins buck for their Thundercats, like all they have to do, like for Mumra, like they're gonna have to a new head sculpt. Otherwise, you pretty much can, like in the new armor, they'll probably want to do like a different chest maybe for his symbol. But technically, you could even do that with like an armor overlay.
Yeah.
Lion-O, you
When
need
they already
a
made.
head. All
Right,
of the
they're gonna
parts
throw it
for
on like
Lion-O
some
exist.
Beastman bucks to get the fur pattern or something,
Yep.
Yeah, but you could
Mhm.
use the Beastman buck with like the boots from like
Boots
many
with the fur.
characters who have boots. The claws, you just use those Skeletor hands.
Mhm.
I mean, and a head sculpt,
Yeah.
and then you just need the armor overlay, like a belt and like the his little onesie thing. So I mean, it
Well,
would
like
be
a
really
lot of the armor could be those vinyl applications that
Yeah.
we've started seeing them throw on some characters that have worked out pretty well, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, like the
Mhm.
Turtles really shows how that they could easily sort of, and even just Origins in general, just the way they do the armor, like it would be really easy for them to do these characters with minimal new tooling, basically new head
Yeah.
sculpts. And Mumra if they want to do a chest. But otherwise, like the rest of this, they could easily just do head sculpts and use existing parts with new armor. So and I think that's that's the hope. Even if they originize them to make them a little different so that they, are more Motu-y, like that's fine. But at the same time, it just seems like, like because the Thundercats is a license. Super7 doesn't own it, and they don't own.
Yeah.
And it just feels like they rushed these out to sort of get ahead of that, so that they can trick
Also, I mean,
people
like,
into thinking.
look at Lion-O's head. Like, I mean, not that I love the Funko line, but I mean, like, at least it was proportional to like old He-Man toys. This one's like way too small. Like, it's really squished.
Yeah.
He's
my
very
gosh.
no net. Like he's
Bobby?
Mhm.
Bobby has a great idea. I'm in. Like, definitely Turtles of Panera.
Playmates will do anything.
Yeah.
But I will
Yes.
say, no, this does not
Anything.
mean it's going to happen. But
I'm in. We are not toy official people. But that's a great idea. I love that
There's-
idea, Bobby. Please.
a lot of licensing that has to work together on that to happen.
Well, I mean,
Well, Playmates
Thundercats
don't
is a
care,
much
like-
smaller license, obviously, because Super7 can afford it all these years.
I'm trying to actually think right now who owns Thundercats. Is it Warner Brothers?
I
For now?
believe so. I think Warner Brothers bought them.
Or excuse me,
That's
Warner
like
Brothers
Warner Brothers-
Discovery.
Warner Brothers might get smashed apart soon. So
Oh,
like
could
DC
we
might
be-
be its own entity. So like who knows what's gonna happen after that? Like everyone's gonna splinter off.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
can I
I'll be
dream
right
of
back. I'm gonna
that?
have my
That would be
dogs out real quick.
wonderful.
Well, as long as somebody,
I'll be right back.
as long as whoever gets the DC license will make a Superpowers Black Canary, I'm fine with that.
I know. Just her, swear to God. Todd.
So I feel so bad about the DC license. Sorry for this completely unrelated rant. It was kind of awful under Mattel the last couple years Mattel had it, because they just like, oh, that's
yeah.
right, I forgot we had DC. And so when Todd got it, it's like, finally, figures that I can find everywhere. And it was great. And now it's like year 7 of just Batman.
Yeah. I mean, I always find too, like DC, granted, like Marvel's had, Toy Biz and the early years of Hasbro, like it didn't hit a stride for quite some time. But I mean, at the same time, like I did not like the feel of DC Classics. I kept on buying figures and I'm like, I hate this. I hate this on my hand. I hate the plastic. I hate everything about it. Back in the trash. And then I I was excited for Todd, and then I got the Superman, and I'm like, I hate this. I don't want it. And like I've seen him sort of grow and get more interesting stuff, but at the same time, like I hate Hasbro, but I kind of want them to like Marvel Legify, because I just want like good figures, and you could just build out a team, and like you get wackadoo characters constantly. Like I don't want Batman. I hate Batman. Like they've made me hate Batman.
Yeah,
and it's funny because I'm like, I will never buy another Batman. They're like, but did you see we put out Dick Grayson? I'm like, you bastard.
That's different.
That's completely different. All right. So in conclusion, this is confusing, and I think I hate it. So
I know I do.
sorry, Super7. Kyle. Well, Kyle's not watching this, so we're fine.
I'm gonna miss.
But
Damn it,
Kyle,
Kyle.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kyle.
We love you, Kyle.
So now we'll move to.
Wait, if you cry in Canadian, is it? Oh no! Oh no!
Can this be the thumbnail? Like no, and then or I'm crying, and there's like all these reactions. Like that's, that gets the clicks, baby.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll use that for next time. We'll get you crying and. So sort
in
of
the corner going.
other than Super7 and
Red eyes.
NECA What the F, we're technically talking Black Friday, but not sort of, we're not necessarily doing the, oh my God, if you go to Amazon, they've got great deals. What we wanted to talk about was sort of some of our favorite pickups on Black Friday in the past and what we're hoping to find this year. And when we were discussing it, getting ready for today, Andrew pointed out he's in Canada, so Black Friday is like a new phenomena for him. So he doesn't have any happy Black Friday pickup memories. So that's crying in Canadian.
Poor Canada.
It's
come on, join the consumerism.
Hey, but
we
you
had
guys,
Thanksgiving and
you guys
we
had Getty
Thanksgiving in
Lee,
October, like normal people. Thanksgiving's in October where the weather's still nice. So, all of this shenanigans, like we all kind of watched across the border with like amusement and horror about like what was going on down there. But I mean, companies got a company, so they do have Black Friday sales now. I mean, I know Amazon's like, remember the thing you looked at 6 months ago, and I'm all like, you don't tell anyone I looked at that, and they're like, it's on sale. So I mean, they're definitely they're targeting and they're getting smarter on it. But I mean, that said, the sales are not great. So like, if I do Black Friday, it's usually out of like a big bad toy store or something like an actual. That said, Canada Post is on strike, so I can buy all I want, and I'm not going to see shit until next year.
Let me tell you about how that strike is fucking me over right now.
Everyone's waiting at the border.
Yeah,
well,
one of my patrons and fans of the show and shit, Nostalgia Nate, he found for me. He didn't tell me how much, but he told me it was Dirty Mama cheap. He played clearance chicken and he got me a fucking classified cover girl. Nice. So my hometown girl made good is sitting there up in the Great White North and ain't shit I can do about it.
Aww.
In a very cold warehouse. Very cold.
Yeah. No, it's at his house. He found it. He's like, I have this for you. When this strike is over, I'm sending it to you. Hopefully it's before Christmas. And I'm like,
It's not. It's not
happening.
They are so
Christmas?
backed up. They are so backed up. I mean, my folks
even
were
if
like,
he
are you
settles the
stuff?
strike
like,
before
no.
Christmas, I'm not getting this till like February.
Well, I mean, like I had ordered stuff and it was like just at the finish line the day the strike hit. So like it's been sitting in some warehouse in Chicago for 3 weeks now. Like it's just, and I mean,
I'm going,
like,
you know what, buddy? I'm
Cox
going to
broke down.
Chicago tomorrow. I'll just grab it and I'll FedEx.
Just get it. Just get it. I'll pay
no big deal.
$50.
I work at FedEx. I can make that happen.
I just want my Pirates of Darkwater. I'm on a kick, and I can't be slowed down. I need it all right now. I need that ship. I need the monkey bird. I need all of it. Like now.
So
there's dark water, no pirates. We gotta get it.
It's in the name. It's in the name.
I've got a bathtub in the living room, and it's full of dark water, but I got no pirates.
I've been throwing dye in it. It's so dark.
I went to the bathhouse. I got some dark water. It's really smelly. Okay.
I just love that Allison's just letting boys be boys right now.
No.
Thanks, Mom.
All right. So now that we've covered international news. You get it all here at Retro Cavalcade, home of the rural juror. So Chris, when I asked about one of his favorite Black Friday scores in the past, this was his contribution. So
Yeah, that's right. I picked this bad boy up a couple years ago for like $18.
That is dope.
And I break it out every year. My favorite part of it is, well, two things. One, that Twin Pines mall sign flips around for Lone Pine.
Yes.
And two, it includes, why can't I think of the, when you move a picture and it changes, like the baseball trading cards.
Lenticular.
Yeah.
Lenticular. Comes with a lenticular photo of the McFly siblings as Playmobil characters, and they slowly disappear.
That's really cool.
That is so good.
That's smart.
Well, I was gonna say in general though, this is an amazing and I'm not
That's
a
a
back
great
to
set.
I mean like I've seen the first Back to the Future like once on VHS, but otherwise it's not my jam. But this is a really cool set. Like it's just kind of cool. It's like you get the like clock tower and a bunch of figures and like that's just cool. So that's a really good deal for $18. But it's cool in
And
general.
Playmobil ain't cheap. Like it's not Lego expensive, but it ain't cheap. Like so $18 is incredible.
Well, and for some reason, Playmobil is considered an educational toy here in the States. So, like, it's not only more expensive, but you can't get it everywhere because not every outlet. You can get it at, like, those horrible educational toy stores where they have shitty toys.
Oh,
We'll have
yeah,
Playmobil.
like wood.
So, it's like, it's hoity-toity
Playmobil's
here.
they've been kind of quietly getting pumped up there because, like, their Starship Enterprise from the classic series is incredible, and it's like the entire crew in Playmobil form, but it's like the entire dish. You pull it up and it's the bridge, and you can go in engineering. Like it's an amazing toy.
Yeah. In general, like Playmobil as a kid, I had a few sets because you would go to the educational store accidentally because you're like, toy store, and your parents would take you, and you'd be like, oh my God, everything sucks. Oh my God, thank God.
Where's He-Man?
Right? Where's
Right, and Playmobil was real late to the licensing game compared to Lego.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say, like, I tend to, when I see Playmobil licensed product, I think it's better. I mean, aesthetically, I find it more pleasing than Lego licensed product. So,
well, and they were brave enough to give us a firehouse this decade from
Yeah,
Ghostbusters.
right.
So,
Yep.
where you at, Hasbro? Where you at?
Yeah.
I think
so,
when you look at
1,000
Lego,
figures,
all
yeah.
you see is hassle.
Yeah.
So pretty good score. Are you hoping to find anything this Black Friday, Chris?
I actually tend to try to find deals on things like import toys and, the more indie stuff. To plug friend of, I think, everybody, Brick Something, he was talking about AWOC is going to do a sale tomorrow, so I'll
Ooh.
try to get something there.
That's awesome. Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
The hipster Thundercats, for those at home.
Grown up
100%.
shirt tails that got angsty.
You're in a shirt tails kick right now.
It turned out to be a better episode than I thought it would be.
I still need a PVC
I mean-
bogey and digger to complete my PVs, like one of each that they released. So
Bogey.
yeah,
A Humphrey Bogart
That was-
orangutan.
That was really more Get Along Gang. They were just like a little more badass. I like being
they
in a
came
gang.
a little later though. At least here in the States,
Yeah, but
I
they're
don't know what's going on in
more
Canada.
badass.
They had
Much
that
more
sweet
badass.
caboose.
Mm.
And that's a double entendre.
I love that. Yeah. All right, let's see next. So these are the uvas. This is what you're hoping to find in one of your finds.
Yes. I saw her on Saturday. Sunday. I took Henry out just for after working on the car, as Andrew has said, oh, you and your cars. I worked on Mama's car and then took him out. We did a little shopping. I let him pick out some stuff, and I saw her sitting there, and I'm like,
Across the room.
hold on a sec.
Our eyes locked.
Go lay down. I love you. I'm contractually obligated to take care of you. but go lay down.
But I will hit you.
I will trade you to a gypsy for cheese. And I can say that I'm Romani. It's true, actually.
Them's the rules. I'm sorry.
It's the rules, man. If I'm born of them
threatened it all
peoples,
the
I
time.
get to see it. But
I'm Irish, and we just got threatened with violence. I mean,
you gotta do what you gotta do. No, I saw her, and I really wanted her because I have to ship it in like the next couple days. I have that Marvel Legends retro card, Johnny Storm, that's all translucent, and they need to be a power couple that's on fire and made of translucent plastic, because we all know how much of a freaking whore I am for translucent material.
Also, I do like that he's gonna be like a short king to a tall wife, and that's like very Dragon Ball. Like I
well, and that's on point for my life because I'm a short man. I'm built like a federal mailbox, and Shauna is leggy.
So it's like Betty and Betty and Barney from like the Flintstones.
One, I love you for saying that, and two, she's gonna love you for saying that because she constantly calls me Barney Rubble.
Oh,
well,
and
Betty was the hot one, so there you go.
Betty was the hot one. I'm normally a redhead guy, but Betty, don't sleep on Betty. Plus, Betty was played by Jane Krakowski in the second one, Rural Juror.
The Roger.
It all comes back around, baby.
It's Inception.
It is. Spin the top. Let's go.
Well, Derek, let me tell you right now, if you don't find her tomorrow, hit me up or not tomorrow, Friday. Let me know because there are quite a few at my Target.
Okay. I just need her to be cheaper.
Sure.
Because she's sitting there. Yep. She's sitting there waiting. Is
she not on sale right now on Target.com?
I don't. That'll have to check.
Because you could do a pickup order.
Because I scanned her and it confirmed the price, the standard price, $22, $23. So yeah, she wasn't marked down yet.
And then the Target employee was like, "It's gold label. Do you know what that means?" And we're like, "Nobody knows what that means." Not even
actually, sadly, I do because my brain is broken.
I spent a lot of time thinking about it.
Too much time.
What's a platinum label? What's a diamond label?
Now the anger I have over the levels of platinum. Ugh.
Yeah, what's this platinum thing coming out? Like what are we doing?
And what if the what's the metal team? The Metal Men? What if platinum actually came out? Would she be a platinum figure?
Platinum would be a black platinum.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I was just thinking of the Metal Men today, but I don't know why, but I was. Now that TV, and it's the TV in my living room. I love that TV. I know it's wrong to love a thing. It's more so a source of pride for me. I got it like 2 days before Black Friday. I got off work. This is when I was still in car sales. I was an internet manager and I was making a disgusting amount of money. And it was just me and Shauna. So like getting off at 7:30 at night, or in some cases 9 o'clock at night, if I had to close a deal, wasn't a big deal because it was just the two of us. And if we wanted to go shopping at 9:30 at night, we did because we were in our early 30s with no children. We happened to go out, and I had already told her, like, I want to buy a nice TV. I've always wanted a nice TV. I've just wanted to just buy it with zero care. And I'm finally in a position in my life where I can say, I want that one right there, and just buy it and not give a damn. And I had the TV picked out, the exact model. And her brother works for Apt in Chicago. Like after they got divorced, he did Michael Jordan's ex-wife, her whole home theater system. It involved a comma and several zeros when he went in and did that for her. But he was like, I can, if you don't find something by you, I can get you a really great deal on the exact model you want, yada, yada, yada. We came across it. Just somebody happened to be putting out like what's that shit they put in the middle of the aisle? It's not an end cap. It's an island. They put out an island of these things. And we asked somebody, like, is that the real price on that? And they're like, yeah, that's the price. And this was like the year they started doing early Black Friday sales. So So we weren't familiar with that. And they were like, yeah, this is going to be an early Black Friday sale. We're putting it out now. Not a lot of people know about it. We'll see how this goes. She then, Shauna being she looks at me, she's like, I think they have the same model at Best Buy. She goes, and we just got that welcome to the neighborhood packet that has a coupon for Best Buy. So I think we can get another $100 off of it. I'm like, let's fucking go. So I scored this awesome TV. It was way cheaper than her brother could have ever gotten it for me. And it's one of those things that even now when I look at it, I'm very proud of it. Like I worked very hard to get there. I worked very hard to have something like that. And it was a purchase that was like, I didn't care that the bills were paid because I knew they were paid. It was a fuck you money moment. Pardon my language. And I just bought it and it felt good. It felt good to finally be able to do that in my life. It was a proud moment. And when I watch Andrew's videos and Chris's videos and Allison's videos, I like watching it on my very big TV that I scored Black Friday after busting my ass in the damn car industry. So, and
then you're the one who sends all the dislikes, which I'm like,
that is so.
It had to be somebody.
I'm not gonna lie, I really like sending dislikes when they come on screen on certain media.
Oh, there's some I will just. There's some
videos I just go in, like dislike and then leave. So
yeah, don't even watch the whole thing. Like,
and then really quick, you also sent this one that says 8 years ago today.
Best Thanksgiving ever.
Aw.
I asked her to be my wife.
Aw. Is that your handwriting?
No. Okay. I worked with a guy who had beautiful script.
Okay.
And that Gone with the Wind, she had seen it at she loves Gone with the Wind. And she constantly teases me when I'm telling a story, as you just saw when I talked about a fucking TV.
Right.
She'll look at me and say, honey, Gone with the Wind, the movie, not Gone with the Wind, the book. So there was a set of these. They wouldn't break up the set. So I think I still have 3 of these things. It's actually a box. It looks hauntingly like a book. So I went back, I bought it. That is her grandmother's ring.
Oh.
It is set in platinum. Ooh. And her great grandfather made it for her great grandmother because he was a jeweler at a place called Peacock Jewelry in Chicago, Illinois. It was pretty prominent. She wanted that ring more than anything. Now, her first husband, Ed, did not ask for her hand in marriage. And she is a little traditional. She has some traditional streaks in her here and there. And she wanted that ring, and she wanted to make sure I talked to her dad about it first. And, Willie, her dad, God rest his soul, he's like, I don't give a fuck if you marry her. I'm glad you are. I was like, well, it's important to her that I talk to you about it first. He's like, no, I would be honored if you asked her to marry you. And I was like, okay, I'm going to talk to your niece, or I'm going to talk to your granddaughter, and I'm going to see if I can get your mother's ring. Are you okay with that? And he goes, absolutely. Because that ring was willed to her niece, who was 10 at the time. So I sit her down. Her name's Megan. Love her to pieces. I was like, I really need to borrow that ring because that is the only way your aunt is going to say yes to me. She threw the gauntlet. I will pick it up. So I got that ring and had this whole thing planned. It was Thanksgiving 8 years ago. And she thought I was going to smash her face in the cake or something. She was being really apprehensive. And I was like, will you just sit the fuck down for a minute? Sit down. I was like, I just want to talk to you. And everybody's looking and getting ready. And I was like, and the rest of you, will you just calm down a second? And I say this whole thing about, what she meant to me and how my life had changed since I met her. Cause I was a huge piece of shit before I met her. I'm a small piece of shit now. And yeah,
it was when did that start?
And I asked her, and she said yes. We're still engaged. We're living in sin. But
yeah,
trying to do right by Jesus.
Yep. Yeah, that was rad.
All right, that was very sweet, Derek.
Thank you.
You killed all the vibes.
As well.
We were all snarky, and Derek jumps in with this heartfelt, sentimental story.
You gotta have the
At
bit
least
with the-
it started with sit the fuck down.
Yeah, it was Midwest sweet. Hey,
It was
sit the
Midwest.
fuck down, okay? I'm gonna talk to you about how I love you.
Afterwards,
Jesus Christ, lady. God.
afterwards, you ate some creamed corn and hush puppies.
Yes. Get the cream corn and hush puppies. This is a celebration.
And then some ambrosia salad that was made from your Aunt Myrtle's recipe that she got from the back of the box and the Cool Whip top.
Where's the mustard potato salad?
And
I love
just- there
deviled
better
eggs. I'm
not
having a
be-
moment this Thanksgiving. Like, it's just like every time I throw on Instagram, they're like deviled eggs. I'm like, tell me more.
I was gonna make deviled eggs for tomorrow, and then I bought a turkey. And I'm like, this is the only big thing that's happening is the turkey, and then that way I don't have to cook for the next 5 days because turkey. So, and then somebody
Oof,
sent a
so
thing
much.
saying that PETA was saying that they caught people at the Butterball factory being intimate with the turkey, and I was just like, I'm gonna cook it. It's fine.
Well, it is a busty bird.
Is it?
It is debunked, unfortunately,
Well,
I
here's
guess, in
the
this
deal,
situation.
Unfortunately, but also it's PETA. They could have just made that up because they're so joyless in their lives. Anyway, let's get, so this is sort of one of my Black Friday scores of the past. This is the Dream Ella Castle by MGA, most famously known for LOL, surprise dolls. But
Those
they have
suckers
like
have
their
no
sort of discount Barbie, which is Dream Ella. This castle was originally 80 to 90 bucks on Amazon, and it hit during the pandemic when everything was locked down. I'm like, I'm not going to spend 80 to 90 bucks on a castle for this toy line. But man, this would make a great Castle Bright Moon for She-Ra, for my vintage She-Ra, right? It needs to be, I'm going to spray paint it or what have you.
Like
And
hot pink.
yeah, hot pink with some gold. So it fits the vibe. Or, you know, like just gold with pink, something, right? And then I was watching, and then Amazon in 2021 emailed me. I was like, that thing you want is a Black Friday sale. And I was like, it's not going to be. And it was sort of right after the pandemic, end of 2021. So work was happening, but not enough to spend 80 to 90 bucks on a castle. But thanks to capitalism on Black Friday, it was $29.99. So I bought it. And it's in my it's in the garage right now, not unpacked, because that's where the studio will be when we're done. So anyway, I bought it, and I've carried it with me all these years, waiting for the day I'll be able to spray paint it and turn it into a She-Ra playset. So capitalism won. And
Yeah. I do appreciate it's got staircase because I like there's like a natural progression to the house. It's like you have to be able to get upstairs, okay? You can't just float up there, dolls.
Yeah, that's kind of, and that was one of the reasons I found myself, often I'll look at like, say, the Barbie dream house, dream castles, the Disney fairy tale princess houses that they make that are in this scale, but they always have so much extra junk in them that like you would have to remove. Whereas everything you see here, you know, like the mirror, the bed, even sort of like the skylight and stuff, all that attaches. And some of this is like decal. So it's like, it's basically a shell that I'll be able to spray paint. I mean, prime and then paint, but it's like, it'll be so easy to customize it because it's spares. So it's another reason I was very into the
very
idea.
minimalist. Like, I like they're just sort of like going for like modern, like, you know, bed, mirror, side table for your keys. That's all I need.
Well,
That's all I need in life.
I would assume that if the line, you know, like, because MGA keeps introducing sort of these discount Barbie line, you know, like Barbie competitors that don't seem to really last. But I would assume if the Dream Alice, you know, like the whole fantasy enchanted thing had done better, they would have probably released like Barbie does, where you get the packs or whatever. So. But it was exciting. And I also, that same year for $19.99, got one of the Mattel Frozen fold-out palaces, so I can make that into Castle Chill for Frosta. But that one has all the extra crap in it, so I'm going to have to get creative.
Yeah, I think like all the gay She-Ra fans were buying that like in bulk for like
Yeah.
a couple of years there.
Yeah, it was like $15.99 instead of like 50 or whatever. So,
Hmm.
so yeah. Anyway, that was, and this all I want this year is I'm stocking the 320 Ohuhu. I apologize to any Hawaiians that if I mispronounce that. And it's a spendier alcohol marker set, but it's time for me to get serious about alcohol markers. So I've been stocking it. It's up and down. It's a spendier set. I'm not even going to pretend it's not. It's a lot of money for
That's
markers.
how many markers?
320. Yeah.
And how much is the set?
Oh God, it's like almost. It's normally it's like 200-ish. But the thing is they're changing the nib system, like the brush. So soon they will have new ones coming out. We all know what happens when you replace an older model of something with a newer model of something.
Yeah.
It goes on further sale. So even if I can't find this on Black Friday, between now and Christmas, this is going to pop. Because my understanding is they're wanting to launch sort of the redesign product in a couple, like before the beginning of the new year. So at some point I'll be able to get this. And if it gets to like 150 to 180 range, to me that's a deal, because this is a quality marker. They're also refillable now. Which also helps. So like, you know, you can order directly from them refills for colors. So it's way more of an art. And it's not like a Crayola marker set or whatever that would be overpriced. I can refill markers. I can change the nibs out. So it's an investment.
Hell
you know, because what I do on the channel, but also just for personal art reasons, I want some good markers. And also, hey Thanos, just in time. So that's all we had. And oh my God, you guys, it's only.
What about Andrews? Oh, Canada.
Yeah, Canada. Wait.
Also, nothing's coming, so.
Oh yeah. You know what? Just talk about Rush for like 5 minutes.
That's not what I think of when I think of Canada. I think of the land.
I think of Rush and poutine.
That's not at all, Wes.
That's not all it is. You have more than Rush and poutine up there?
It's fistfights and being passive aggressive to your mom. Like that's
oh shit! What am I doing here?
Right?
I don't know. Like I don't know.
Am I low key Canadian?
Probably.
Maybe.
Well, low key in general, but
what 1/8 Canadian on your father's side?
There's something going on there, man. I'm leaving money on the table.
It's a little more costly to live here, so yeah.
A little bit. But free healthcare.
Might be worth it.
Well, not free, but better healthcare.
Healthcare. Period.
Healthcare. Yeah.
Healthcare, Rush, poutine, fistfights. Checking a lot of boxes for me.
Yeah.
I mean, poutine is great.
All right, so really quickly.
Gravy and fries. I mean, God.
Let's see. All right, so we're going to remove that really quick, and we're going to do the end of thingies. Really quick. Derek J. Hoover, where can the people find you?
Well, let's see. Every Monday, we got episodes coming out on your podcast app of choice. And that's going to be yesterday's podcast. This week was Shirt Tales, closing out November. Next Monday kicks off Producer Pick Christmas, where for the next 5 weeks, every topic is something picked by one of our producer patrons, including Miss Allison Troy. We kick it off with Home Alone on Monday from our dear friend Maureen. So you can also talk to me just in general. You can email the show, yesterdayspod at gmail.com. I'm on X, and I do have still on X for now. We'll see how that goes. And that Blue Sky social, that seems a little bit more calm right now. So check it out, won't you please?
Excellent. And then
Get my face out of there. I look like a catcher's mitt.
Hey.
I need to moisturize.
Oh, my turn. I am at, where am I at? Gatey's Toys on YouTube and Instagram. This week, doing MIA 80s Ladies. We're going to be doing Ellen Ripley from the Alien toy line that never took off. The week after that, it's the holidays. It's Life Day. So we're going to do Mala, Chewbacca's wife. who was almost made into a figure, but thankfully was not. She has very large, furry boobs, and we're going to talk about it. And otherwise, you can find sames. And otherwise, you can find me on OnlyFans. I've got I just clean toy cabinets in a very long Ebenezer Scrooge kind of pajamas with the big cap. I'm not getting a lot of views or money, so get them wallets out, gentlemen.
There you go. Make it happen. Throw them dollars.
Pay him.
Right. And then we're gonna save my guest for last. I've got yesterday I released Color and Chill Thanksgiving with Barbie. She makes the turkey too. Friday there will be an Imperial Probe Droid Attacks Empire Strikes Back Color and Chill. And then on Saturday will be Color and Chill Spectacular Motu 1984, like 5 pages of Masters of the Universe 84. I am online to finish that 1984 coloring book by the end of this year, which was my goal. And then Monday, there will be a new flip through video. We're starting December off with the flip through of a vintage Gremlins coloring book because nothing says Christmas like Gremlins. And then shorts, always shorts. So check them out. All right. And of course, Allison Troy, Retro Toy Princess. If you are watching us, then you should know how to find me. So, and Chris Plastic.
Yes, I am the fantastic Chris Plastic, and I am very good at not being found anywhere right now. But sometimes, just sometimes, I can be found at Shiny Plastic People, at SPP Toys, at your, social media of choice. I do have a YouTube channel where I don't post things, but I will be talking about McFarlane Toys Digital. It's blurry, you can't see it, but I've got opinions that disturb even me. So, So yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us, Chris. Muchly appreciated. Glad to have you aboard. And next time we'll try to make sure we're talking superpowers or something so that you can
Yes.
be in your wheelhouse. So on that note, this concludes the 3rd episode of the Rural Juror, aka Retro Cavalcade. And in the immortal words of your mom, nobody loves you, go home. Just kidding. That's not your mom. Or is it? Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. If you celebrate, if you don't celebrate, have a great Thursday. And enjoy Black Friday.
Thursday's a great day. It's named after Thor.
No, exactly.
I get to go to work tomorrow.
Canada is so sad. Like, it's like a third world country up there. Like, do you guys even have like Coca-Cola? I'm just kidding.
I'm just gonna fist fight someone tomorrow. Don't worry about it.
Sounds like fun. Who hasn't had a fist fight?
For my American friends.
This is for the Midwest.
Throw punches for everybody.
Oh my word. And you did, but it's okay. It lives on in replay forever and ever. And on that note, I'm Allison Troy, Retro Toy Princess. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.